Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen for the 10th round of Racecentre's F1 League for 2020. Tonight we're racing at SOCHI in Russia. It's going to be a 53 lap race. Each lap's 5.848 kilometres and the current lap record is 135.761, held by Lewis Hamilton as of last year. I'm just joining in the qualifier session now. And we're following Jack's song. At the moment, we're only a minute and a half into the qualifier session. Jack's been practicing all week and he's definitely improving from Magello last week. So can't wait to see what he brings tonight in the racing. If we just look at the track detail. We've got two DRS zones tonight. One's on the main straight, the detection zone's just before the first turn, and the activation's just after the first turn. Quite an awkward spot to activate the DRS, and it puts us straight into a right-hander for turn 2. As we can see there on the second detection zones just before turn 10, and again on a bend is the activation zone. So quite, with the second DRS zone, the braking is going to be very important because at high speed you're going to need to brake just before you reach turn 12, turn 13, otherwise you won't pull the car up in time. As you see Jack's song just clipping the wall there. Back to the live timing. And we've got no one's really posted a full lap yet, so we haven't seen any times come up. Halil's posting purple sectors and he's setting our benchmark at a 130.377. Okay, Michael Dinellen for Alfa Romeo, he's posted a 132.925. You'll see Scott Flack going to P1 at the moment with a 130.078. The guys in practice were getting in the 129, so we'll see if they can do that in a short 10-minute stint. Practice, Thomas Foster was showing a lot of pace, battling with swapping fastest lap times with Scott Flack, so I expect him to be up in P2, P1. He's just playing it cool there by coming out late in the session. Got 5.5 minutes to go. Marty Bennett in the Ferrari colours. He's been improving and practicing all week at Sochi as well, so hopefully we can see some good results out of him tonight. Just showing you the season standings before tonight's race. Scott Flack dominating out in P1. He's on 165 points. Thomas Foster in the Mercedes chasing him in 125 points. Halil Caesar in the Cooler Master entry. He's coming up the ranks on 109 points. Marty Porter unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight, so I have to see him back for the next round at Nürburgring. So he'll probably drop down. These guys can drop 4 of their worst rounds, as a lot of these guys have other commitments and are sometimes unable to make it. So this just keeps the racing healthy for people who want to go on holidays and miss around and such like that. Michael Dinellen in P5 on 78 points. Scott Fitzsimons also couldn't be with us tonight for work commitments. He's sitting on 53. behind him is JC Richards in P7. Shane Gill for the Jack Song, moving up a few places after last week's good results in Magello. And David Borg rounding out the top 10. I'll go back to the timing and see who's up the top. Thomas Foster, as expected, as mentioned before. He is now on a 129.812. Let's just show you those times there as Marty Bennett pulls the pin on that lap. We can go to Thomas Foster on board. There's a total of 18 corners at Sochi. I'll just try and figure out where we're at the moment with Thomas. Okay, I think we just went through turn 10. Coming down the second detection zone. Should be full speed. As I said, coming into a really tight right-hander and a switch back to the sharp left. And 15, 16. Up to turn 17, second last corner of the lap. And you can see the pit entry there on the right-hand side. On to his probably last or second last attempt. Down the main straight detection zone. It's right about now. No, sorry, that's turn 2. The long bend around Olympic Park. As you may or may not remember, this is where the Sochi Winter Olympics was held. Already showing purple sectors in sector 1. Running on super softs at the moment for quali. Not too sure whether he'll be running on those tyres for the race itself. That's Foster, Flack, Caesar and Song all within a second of each other. Let's just quickly across to Jack Song on his flying lap. Probably not going to be his quickest tonight. See what Marty Bennett's doing. He's in for a fresh set. Marty Bennett's on his PB at the moment. Turn 15, turn 16, almost at the end of the lap. 2 more corners to go, 2 right-handers, 90-degree right-handers. On the main straight. What's he going to finish with? The 131.608. And that moves him up a spot into P5. Only got 3 seconds to go, so if you haven't crossed the line now, you're going to miss out. So quickly go through the top. Looks like Tom Foster's... Oh, he's just got on the gas too early while on the ripples, and he's brought the rear around, putting in the fence. Jack Song moved up into P2 with a 130 flat. Excellent effort from Jack Song. That practice really paying off. Not too sure about the track limits there, but we all know FIA is saying that the ripple strips are now part of the circuit as of Magello. So Jack Song going to finish on the front row. Excellent effort. Scott Flack back in P3. That's not something you see every day. Little Caesar, unless he can better on this lap, he's going to finish in qualifying P4. Okay, this lap should count, but it's a 1:30.7. Scott Flack not on a fly, he's just winding down, cooling the engine down, ready for the race. This looks like the pit entry. No, he's straight in the pits. Okay. So the qualifying results. Thomas Foster, P1 with a 1:29.402. Scott Flack pips Jack Song for the front row in P2 with a 1:29.767. Jack Song, P3. Halil will start on the second row in P4. Marty Bennett, P5. Michael Dinellen on the third row. And Shane Guilford on the back. Myself, yours truly. We'll start the race just after this break. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The guys are just gritting up, waiting for the formation lap. Full crowd here today at SOCHI Autodrome. They're expecting a good race today. Black and Foster really showing good pace. Halil Caesar, but the big improver tonight's been Jack Song in the Racing Point livery in the pink there, which is following him at the moment. He's definitely improved over the last couple of weeks. Magello was a good result, and he's wanting to hit it out and improve on that one from last round. So we're just on a formation lap. Quickly just warming up the tyres as we get into a 53 lap race. Just quickly go over the championship points at the moment, as we brought the visuals up before, but as it stands now, Scott Flack's leading the championship on 165 points, followed by Thomas Foster with 125. Third place is Halil Caesar with a 109, and close behind him is Marty Porter with a 104. Halil should stretch that gap, as Marty couldn't be with us tonight, so he'll be back at the next round. Michael Dinellen is in 5th on 78 points, Scott Fitzsimons in 6th, 53. JC Richards, 38. 7th, Shane Guilford, yours truly, in 8th on 38 points as well, and Jack Song on 34 points in 9th, and rounding out the top 10, David Ball in 10th on 30 points. So it's quite a long lap, especially on a formation, so this will give the guys opportunity to get the tyres warm, ready for that start. Do a couple of clutch tests. Okay. I've got a pretty big roller coaster there in the background. They're not watching the Formula One, they're over there. Okay, you can see a few guys just warming up. We've got a couple of practice starts as we're waiting for yours truly to bring up the back of the grid. 53 laps. 90-minute race. See the lights go. And we're off. Thomas Foster getting a great start. Scott Flack close behind in P2. See Marty Bennett in the Ferrari there, trying to get out of the slipstream. Really affecting the front downforce when you're following a car close behind. We say at each race, but this track particularly, it's quite a closed event. So when you get close, it's really hard to make a pass here. So Foster just stretching a bit of the lead. Jack Song and Halil Caesar battling down the back. Let's go on board with Halil up the inside of Jack Song. The guys still taking it quite cautiously because the tyres aren't quite up to temperature yet. So we're not going to get as much grip. This course is a lot of right-hand turns, so you're really harsh on the front end of the car, not so much on the rear tyres. We see Halil just closing up a bit on Jack Song there. You can see Halil just getting the back loose there, and he's lost a bit of time to the front three. As we see Scott Flack in P2. So he can complete the first lap. Halil still getting a bit loose there, coming out of corners. He's just got a new SimiCube wheel this week, so he's spent all week trying to get that tuned in. So he's doing pretty good considering. Got Michael Donnellan in the back for Alfa Romeo. He messed up the start a little bit and ran wide, so he's dropped off the pace a little. Back up the front, it's Thomas Foster. Leading us into lap 2. Quite a pretty circuit, good track to race on. You see the rubbering up on the thing as looks like Halil Seas has just taken Jack Song around the outside, and he's moved up into P3. This is one of the DRS zones. I'm not too sure whether they're actually DRS is enabled at the moment. We're only in the second lap. I think it's in the third lap that it actually gets activated. So see Halil run wide, but Jack Song taking that curb quite early. Really using all of the track, Jack is, to get open up the corner and make it a lot wider. Just got to be careful exceeding track limits there. Marty Bennett's close behind, chasing him down. In the Ferrari, should be in the draft there, so we can see the DRS activating. Takes us through turn 2. It's quite an extended left-hand turn with a harsh right-hander at the end, so you're loading up the front right tyres and then you've got to ask the front lefts to throw you in the other way. So Marty's good pace but slightly losing touch there. The guys are really spreading out at the moment. Scott Flack's still quite close to Foster, keeping in touch with him. They're both on softs. I think C4s was the tyre of choice for the start of the race. We'll see if, how long they last. As I said before, you can see the front rotors just lighting up there of Scott Flack's car. Halil was closing, but he just made a slight mistake there coming out of that turn. He's going the second last corner onto the main straight. Looks like Gilfeather and Donnellan have lost touch. I think I saw Gilfeather spinning around T3 on the last lap, so he lost touch. Donnellan is actually coming in the pits, so we'll see. It's either serving a penalty. I doubt he's serving a penalty at jump start. I think he's changed tyres. So he's gone to the mediums. Hopefully he'll make it to the end of the race with that set. He's got another 49 laps to go on that set of tyres. It's a big ask, but this will save him quite a long pit stop. You actually have to enter 2 corners before the actual main straight as he rejoins in P7. Okay, Flack in second, Foster in first. Definitely dominated practice and quali as well. He started off the front row with Scott. Just do a full lap with Foster. Okay, so we're coming around T3 at the moment. Into that sharp right-hander. You've got to brake early here, just so you can quite a tight exit, which is the case on most of these corners. So you really have to take the principle of slowing fast out. Quite a tricky off-camber corner there. You can't commit too much, otherwise the back will just come round. Okay, so we're coming in the second DRS zone here. Obviously, Foster in front's not going to get any advantage through here, but braking hard through 12 and 13. And a tricky switch back. Coming up to turn 15. This one's definitely off camber with a curb on the inside, so it really unsettles the car. And then you've got to ask it to turn right straight away. You see the pit entry on there on the right hand side. That's at least 2 corners before the main straight as we're rounding onto the main straight. Starting lap 5. Try and look behind to see where Black is there. See if he closes in on the long straight. And see him definitely closing in on brakes there. But Foster's getting a good exit. If we round turn 3 again. Definitely not mucking around on those corners. A lot of people can brake a bit too much, trying to get down the gears too hard, which is just affecting your top end speed, your corner speed, I should say. Okay, so it's Flack chasing Foster at the moment. Halil is in P3. Jack Song P4, the racing point. And Marty Bennett right behind him in the Ferrari, Charles Leclerc entry. It's also, Marty's also been practicing most of the week, trying to improve his times, and it's definitely showing. He's definitely more consistent and consistently up the front end of the race at the moment. Okay, looks like Denellan's lap times are slowly dropping off. They're probably not performing as much as the softs are, which is expected, but the trade-off will be 1 less pit stop, or at least 2 less pit stops for this race, depending on tyre wear and driving style. Probably taking a while to warm up these tyres as well, being a harder compound. The only real opportunity is the hard 90-degree turns. You go down the main straight on lap 7. Braking hard down through turn 2. Okay, so Flax definitely get the advantage of the DRS. You can see it definitely closing on that lap. Foster just running wide there, allowing Flack to close up. See Scott Flack trying to tuck in. We're in the DRS zone here. So you can see the advantage there, an extra 10-15 kilometres an hour, but you've really got to brake hard for that corner. Holding out wide, trying to take it in early. But Foster just seems to be a bit smoother through that section. So these two, I'd say, are going to stick together most of the race, depending on pit strategy, how that's going to play out. But we can see Black definitely closing in now. But not quite enough. The DRS zones here at Sochi don't really give you enough chance to gain unless you're right up the back of the driver in front. The detection zone, you're pretty much in the draft anyway, so the DRS is only going to give you a little bit of an advantage. But when it comes to braking, you've got to tuck out the zone, otherwise you're going to lose front downforce and unable to make turn 2. Okay. Further back, Halil's still in P3 by himself, just punching out consistent lap times. Jack Song's doing a good job to stay in touch in P4. Looks like it just ran wide there, bringing up a bit of dust. Going through the turn 11. Coming in 12, 13, high speed. Again, really using all the track there just to make the corner a lot wider so we can carry a lot more speed through. He slows it in for that off-camber turn. Looks like they're all just settling in. We are on lap 10 at the moment, so only a 20% through. Go back to Michael Dinellen. Come around through turn 10 on to turn 11. Got to keep it nice and tight there. Not accelerate too hard because you've got to slow it up again on this off camber. Get back on the gas pretty early. Brake early, turn in. This is an off camber left. Slow right. Very important to keep it nice and smooth. Get a rhythm in through that section. You've got a lot of time to gain and even a lot more time to lose if you make a mistake. You did a pretty good job there. Okay, so he's circulating P7 at the moment. Guilford is struggling in P6. I think he's spun again since we last saw him. Trying to stay on track there, but running a bit wide, carrying too much speed through the corners. The tight exit. So he comes into turn 12 at 13. At the end of the DRS zone. I'm going to take a different line there, but that's not working for him. Almost collected the fence. I think we'll go back up the front. See how they're going. So Scott's definitely still on the back of Foster. Whether he's just playing the waiting game or not, or just keeping his eye on Foster to see where his strengths and weaknesses are. Foster's going to be hard to beat today. He's been quite quick. So maybe it's worth Flack undercutting or overcutting through pit stops. We're only on lap 11. I don't think the softs are going to wear out too hard on this track. Mugello was definitely tough on tyres, but I don't think this one as hard. So I'm predicting about a 1-2 stop strategy tonight. We go back to Halil in P3 still. Yeah, we're just going to be back after a short message. Okay, welcome back. We're back on board with Thomas Foster, and we can see in the background Scott Flack's just dropped off a little. Not too sure if his tyres are starting to go. Looks like he's struggling a bit. We're on lap 18 of 53. It looks like about a 3-4 second gap now that Foster's opened up. Further back, I think we've got Jackson right on the back of Halil Caesar, trying to show his nose on the inside, but Halil's a seasoned campaigner, so he's not going to fall for that one. But Jack will definitely try. He's got plenty of enthusiasm, trying to chase down Halil in front. So Jackson's in P4. Trying to make it P3. Ran a bit wide there, had to take the curb. Hugging the inside, getting in a good braking zone so we can take the next corner. Nice and tight. He's run a bit wide there. Staying out in the pool section. Running right outside, trying to carry as much speed through the corners. Good exit there, got a good closing up on Halil. Halil's just collected the curve, getting a bit unsettled, losing a bit of time trying to get the power back down. I see Jackson just touching there. Not too sure if he left enough room, but Jackson's run a bit wide and hit the fence. So Halil's taken back that spot in P3. Probably better off being patient there, just choosing a better spot to overtake. We rejoin the front. Marty Bennett's still holding P5 quite well. They're in 6 and Vanilla still in P7. Okay, back up the front. We'll see where Scott Flack is. He's still on track, just further back. See, he's trying to take as much of the track as possible. Those fronts are obviously not turning in for him the way it was. But lap 20, we're not quite halfway, so if he pits again now on the same set, he won't make it to the end unless he takes a different driving style. So he's circulating P2 at the moment. Foster's still dominating out front. Not too sure if you saw our last round at Mugello, but Thomas Foster was leading till the last lap with 11-second lead, but just lost concentration and hit the curb and ended up not retiring from the race. He lost a lot of time as he ran off track and gave the lead back to Scott Flack, which he can't afford to do if he wants to win the championship this year. That's Foster going through. And we've got... He's made a quick change. Still on soft, so he's going to rejoin in P4. We see Jack Song and Hello Caesar, and now comes Gilfeather as well. Or is that Black in the background? Quite busy on track at the moment. That looked like that was Black exiting the pits there. Jack Song and Hillel still battling away there. Jack's getting a bit restless, getting a bit impatient. Oh, that's not a good angle to overtake on. He's only going to have to sacrifice more speed to get through the corner. Really should just build the time and wait for the straight. You can see he's struggling for tyres at the moment as well, and they're about to have Scott Flack join the back of him. Will he get the inside job done? It's a three-way battle now for P3. Jack Song's got it at the moment, but Flack's on fresh tyres, so he's definitely going to get the drive out of the corners a lot better. It's saying that he still needs to make it through unless these guys decide to pit. Not the angle we want. So Hillel Caesar's in for his set of tyres. It's an early pit entrance as well, so you really need to get the speed down at the start of the lap. He's going back with softs. If we join Scott Flack and Jack Song. Battling for P3, P2 I should say. That's Michael Denellen just in front. Further up the road, so this will get interesting as well. Not too sure if Jack's going to try and fight this one off. It's probably worth just letting Scott Flack go. He's going to lose more time trying to hold that position. Oh, and you can see he's overshot that corner there. Scott's taken that position. Jack should probably come. We're expecting Jack Song to come in the pits pretty soon. You can see he's overrunning every corner now. Not really permitted to be running that wide every time. So he may get a warning from the steward. So go on board with Scott Flack. As he takes Michael Denellen. Not sure if Denellen went into pits yet, no. But Jack Song's jumped in, he's missed the pit entrance. He's managed to just jump the little curves and get in there without hitting the wall. So I think they're the softest of the compounds that he's gone on to. And he'll be rejoining in P3 at the moment. Foster's still out in the lead, so I missed whether he's actually pitted yet or not. We can't see Scott Flack close, so looks like he could have gained more time as Scott Flack got caught up in not the back markers, but the guys on older tyres, so that would have held him up for a couple of laps there. We're on lap 23, almost halfway through the race. Black. Jack's on P4. Back up again behind Hello Caesar. I think Jack's... Do we get to pit? No, sorry, we just saw him come out. So, looks like he's struggling to get those new tyres warmed up. Going wide there. Costing him more time just to get back on the track and get a better line. So it's better to sacrifice the time early and you'll make the gains later on. This has been a good battle for P3 at the moment. Khalil trying everything to get him out of the slipstream. As you can see him just changing the lines there. And he hasn't got DRS. Yes, he has, right as I say it. So he'll close up the back. Good view of the back of Hillel Caesar's car in the cooler master entry. Jack just closing in now. He's running away, costing a lot of time. This will probably be a battle for the entire race, but Jack just needs to tidy up. Running wide there, carrying too much speed. Be costing a lot of tyre wear as well. Just trying to put the car back in, get back on track quick enough. I think he's in DRS range there, as the detection's just before that bend. Alright, so Guilford is still in P6, but we'll move on. Danelli in P7. Cutting some consistent laps still with the mediums on. They should be about, I'd say, 20 laps old now. He's got another 30 laps to go on those sets. So I dare say we'll see him come in again, change to another set towards the end of the race. Marty Bennett holding well in P5. Back up front, Foster definitely dominating. He's about to lap Gilfeather on lap 26. Okay, so Guilford has been given the blue flags. You can see from the lights on the side of the road, it is yielded pretty quickly, not wasting much time there. I'm sure Foster appreciates that. Good bit of letting the leaders through. Okay, so Black still in P2. Like it's still steady. Let's see if Jack Strong and Hello Caesar still together. Hello's just stretching out, keeping his lines nice and tight. These turns are generating about 33 Gs. A sudden change in direction. Just go on board with Jack. See how he does it. Better entry onto the main straight as he goes past for the 27th time. Down the main straight. into turn 2. We'll go up the front as Lewis coming up to the back of Michael Janela in P7. Leo's sponsored by Coolmars. They're both in the Formula 1 and the V8 series. If you do want to join us, you can always race with us. We're definitely looking for more drivers to make it a bigger field and more interesting. Please get in contact with us and see how you can join us. Jack Song's joined us a couple of rounds ago and he's already proven himself by driving up the pointy end. Michael Janela. A good example of letting the leaders through. Mike Foster's about to come and lap Marty Bennett in P5. So Foster just overtook it slightly. Turn 13. We always go to that view. We need to face the front. We're just going on for another quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're just on board with Scott Black, circulating in P2. Not really seeing the back of Foster, so he is dropping off a little bit throughout the race. See if Jack Song and Hello Caesar are still stuck together. I can see Jack Song. It looks like Hello's had an accident there, not too sure what's going on. He's currently in P4 at the moment, so Jack is up in to P3. Alright, we'll just go back to Hello there. Like he's coming up to the back of Gilfeather in P6. Just joined and it looks like Foster's dropped the lead to Scott Black, so those positions have changed. Could have been Foster running wide, allowing Black to catch up and pass, making an uncharacteristic mistake there. But I'm sure Foster will fight to get back to the lead before too long. It's lap 37 at the moment. We're well into the second half of the race. quickly go through the field. Jack Song, as mentioned before, he's moved up into P3, which means Halil's in P4 at the moment. Matty Bennett's still in P5, quite consistent. That looked like a three-way right behind him, so he'll probably have heat coming on. That's back there. Marty Bennett in P5. Shane Gilfeather in P6. As mentioned before, Michael Dinero in P7. So this will definitely be the battle of the night. Black and Foster swapping positions. It could be that Foster was just patiently waiting, but Black was patiently waiting on Foster to make a mistake, but Foster's not really known for making too many mistakes, as he's always finished in the top end of the race, collecting valuable points. Track's quite punishing if you do make a mistake, because obviously it's straight in the wall. There's no real grass area to slide in, no sand trap. It's pretty much spin and then nine incorrect ball that will reach you. With Marty Bennett. Sure, Marty's receiving the blue flag at the moment. There's actually caused an incident between Foster and Black. We can see Foster waiting up and redressing for Black, which is good race etiquette. It's what's expected if an accident is caused. Marty Bennett should have probably yielded there as well, but because he's a lap car, but the steward will be speaking to him after the race. Okay, so Flax regained P1 with Foster close behind. We're going to come up to the back of Bennett again quite soon. Jackson still out in P3, Hillel in P4. Okay, so this is going to get quite interesting. Moving through the back markers while trying to race for position at the same time. We're looking at the back of Michael Pinella now. Watching the leaders trying to get past as he's being given the blue flags. It's a hard track to sort of let the drivers by. This will be a good place to do it. Needs to run wide. That's it. Excellent work from Michael Pinella. Easy done as they move it through. See Scott just running wide, moving on to the main straight. coming on to the back of Bennett again, so we'll just see what happens this time around. See Foster overtaking Scott Black into turn 2 from the back of Marty Bennett's car. So Foster's got the job done. You see Marty Bennett moving out of the way, letting the leaders through. Okay, Flack got the DRS open. Extra 10-15 Ks down the second DRS zone. So definitely an advantage, but the braking zone's quite a tough place to make a pass. You'd really have to commit to take the inside at the end of that long straight at top speed. Okay, lap 41, we'll see where Jack Song is. He's still in P3, a little P4. Marty Bennett in P5. Go for the P6, still on softs. I think that's his second set. He's only had one pit stop tonight. We've got Michael Donnellan still on the hard as he's coming up to the back of Marty Bennett in P5. Good job if they're the same set of tyres that he changed on lap 5 or 6 I think it was, or even earlier than that. Whoop. Okay, so it looks like a bit of a glitch there, and Marty Bennett's not lost the position. It's still Michael in P7, just losing track space. Sometimes there's connection issues and the game loses its reference as to where the car should be. So it'll put you back on, half a second up the road or behind. So we'll look at the back of Foster, watch Scott Black at the DRS zone, as I'm sure he got it through this section here. Braking hard into tight right-hander. Definitely tighter under brake, but losing space again on the exit of turn 3, on the exit of turn 2, going around turn 3. Foster definitely a lot smoother through that section there. Definitely using the method slowing fast out. You can see the differential when Scott Black tries to brake in hard and make a move, which doesn't work. So after 43 laps, these guys are still nose to tail, pretty much. As soon as Scott gets close to the car, he's going to lose his front downforce. So that is another aspect to think about when you're following another car, is where you get the front grip in at the time of the corner. There's a lot of, even in this simulator, there's still a lot of aero wash that you can definitely feel. You've just got to time your passing manoeuvre right. Bennett's trying to get on the back of Donnellan there. Oh, and they've collided. Michael Donnellan hit the wall. They've come together on the main straight. Huge accident there. We see Michael Dinellan just backing in into the wall there. Lucky there's no damage on tonight. Otherwise that would have been race over for both of those, costing valuable points for the championship. Michael Dinellan rejoins with Marty Bennett. Moves up in the safe area of the track. No one in front or behind. Jack Song still comfortable up in P3, cutting some fine laps. That practice is definitely paying off for him this week. Track may be suiting him more than others, although he's got to tighten up those track limits there. Hillel in P4. Go back up the front where the action is. Watch black tyres in. This time he's taking it a bit easier, and it's definitely paid off for him because he's a lot closer behind Foster at this point. Unfortunately, it's about that space that he's still in the aero wash. As you can see, him just running wide there, turn 4. Unable to make the car turn. Not too sure whether he's going to pit again before the end of the race. There is only 8 laps to go. He could also go for bonus points for fastest lap of the race, which would reduce his deficit to the front, because Thomas Foster is currently holding the fastest lap at the moment, so he'll get maximum points if positions stay the same, 21 points, and Scott Black looking at 17. So we'll see Foster moving up the ladder close to the Black if positions stay the same. Black's definitely pushing. You can see him over the off-camber turn at 15. But he struggled to get back around 16 as they go down the main straight. Go through the field. Marty Bennett still in P5. Jack Song P3. Below, there's a bit of smoke in the background there. Who's that? Could be Gill Feather. Right. This is where all the action is up the front for P1. Scott Black definitely not letting Foster go. Only got 7 laps left for the race to go. I don't think these guys are going to be pitting before the end. with Bennett, as we just saw him just clip the curb there, taking turn 2 quite wide. Got a couple of drivers behind him as well. We'll see who that is. It's not well. So it looks like Bennett, Sol, and Vanilla. Marty running a bit wide there. This is not for position as Marty Bennett took P5 and Jack Tom going to come out to lap Marty. Slight lock up on the front right there. Marty's working the car quite hard to make these old tyres work for him. He's doing a pretty good job staying on the circuit, staying on track as he comes into pit. With only 6 laps to go towards the end of the race. It's a late pit stop. And you can't even get grip in pit lane, which is showing how old these tyres are. Not too sure of the speed coming into pit lane there. Could have exceeded pit lane speed limit. He's gone back on the C4s, the super softs. And he's received the pit lane stop and go. And he's decided to retire from the race. So it's Marty Bennett out of the race. So we'll go back up the front. You see Scott Black just dropping off the back of Foster there. Like about a 2-second gap now, well outside the DRS zone. So with Bennett out now, it moves Gill further up into P5 and Denellen up into P6 soon. Currently P7, but after this lap he'll move up a position. These races are always quite long, but tyre management here is very important, as is every track, but with this one you can really make a difference. Magelli didn't have a choice, you really had to pit the tyres all the time, as Jack Fong runs a bit wide there again. So this one probably win or lose a race, so definitely this weekend when the real boys are racing, that's where the race is going to be won. With tyre strategy, I'd say. So Hillel still in P4. See if Scott Black's made any more ground on Foster. Foster's pulling away slightly. The gap's stayed the same. As Foster's trying hard to keep Flack out of the DRS zone to get that advantage through those 2 sections around the circuit. Still in touch, but not really close enough to make a threat. All Thomas has to, Foster needs to do is hold tight for the next 3 laps. And he should be right, so we'll go on with Foster. There's a pretty big crowd here today. I don't see many blank seats in the crowd. I think in the real race they're going to allow a certain amount of people at the track for this round of the real Formula One race. The gap between Foster and Black still the same. Right on board with Halil. Coming on the lap 51 now, 2 laps to go to the end of the race. We're about 89 minutes in, 88, 89 minutes in. It looks like Foster's definitely putting his head down and that gap's opening up now. Like really struggling on the tail end of the tyre. You can see Foster's definitely driving a lot smoother through the turns. So Foster's been quite good performance from him tonight. Don't want to give him any commentator's curse before the end of the race, but he's definitely dominated the weekend with practice qualifying race. But Scott Flack definitely there to keep him honest, make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. We've got 2 laps to go on the second last lap. Well, it looks like Halil's got engine trouble. He's just gone straight at turn 2 while in 4th position. He's parked the car. I think he's got engine damage. Not too sure what's going on there. Should listen to team radio to see what's happening. But you can see Guilford just going past there. If Caesar doesn't get this sorted out, he's going to lose position. He was in P4. Jack Song's probably happy that he doesn't have to look in the rear vision mirror anymore, as he'll probably comfortably take the last step of the podium as we see Thomas Foster on the last lap of the race. And there you can see in the background Scott Flack dropping off more and more. But it's Thomas Foster at turn 11, second DRS zone. Fine performance tonight from him. He's really knocked it down and paying dividends. Also collecting the extra point for the fastest lap of the race. I can't see Scott Flack doing that on the last lap with those tyres as he's dropping off the pace from Foster in front. Here he comes, last corner of the race, taking the checkered flag. There it is, Thomas Foster, P1, Scott Flack, P2. Congratulations to Thomas Foster and Scott Flack. Jack Song coming to take his checkered flag. He's still at turn 13. Coming up to turn 15 now. Only a couple of corners away till he takes his first podium. P3, great effort. There he is, congratulations. Jack Song in P3. First podium of the season in his career. Looks like Hillel hasn't managed to get the car going, so he's stuck there while Scott Flack's doing doughies. Oh, look at that synchronised doughies between Foster and Flack. Foster's going, hey Hillel, where are you going? What's happened? And that means Gilfeather's going to take P4 just by staying on the track. So not a bad result, not the best weekend for him. He got in the car pretty late. Like after qualifying, so he only started doing laps at the race start. So that's Gilfeather taking P4. That means Denellen finishes the race in P5. Hillel will be in P6, and Marty Bennett, already parked in the garage, finishes in P7. So thanks for watching. I hope you can join us next time for Nürburgring for the next round of the Formula One Championship. Good night.